Another Raw, another Monday, another wasted 3 hours of all of our lives. Look, man, I don't know if you enjoy this show on a weekly basis, like thoroughly enjoy it from start to finish. And I don't know. God bless you, man, because I don't know how anybody can do it, man. Yeah, there was a few things that I enjoyed tonight. Very, very few things. But overall, the show itself is it's so boring. It doesn't flow right. It just lags on. Like, after Roman Reigns got beat down at the end of the night, I literally thought the show was over and didn't even realize that we still had to fucking endure an entire fucking, like, 25 extra minutes for Dean Ambrose and Drew McIntyre main event, which we'll get into when we get there. I didn't get out of work today. I didn't get home from work until 9:30 p.m. And I pretty much finished the show right around 11:15, 11:20. That's how much of this shit I fast forwarded through. So if there's some stuff that I missed in here that you're like, oh, how come you didn't mention this? Well, that's why, because most of this shit, as soon as I seen shit that I really didn't care about, I just fast forwarded it, you know, because there's only so much I can take. I tried to watch most of it, but some of it was just unbearable. And I don't know who can watch this shit from start to beginning live, like straight up with the commercials and everything. Like, I used to be able to do that at one time. There'd be a time where I would rush home if I was out just to get home to watch Raw. Like, I felt like I couldn't miss it. Even if I missed the first 5 minutes, I felt empty. Like I don't get that feeling anymore at all. And it's not because I'm older. It's because they don't do anything that's exciting. There's nothing to look forward to every Monday night. There was nothing to look forward to tonight. What was there for me? The only thing I was interested in is what Ronda Rousey was going to say and the whole Batista thing. That was basically it. And those were probably the two best segments of the entire night. Easily. The rest of the show was just terrible. So I'll try not to ramble on too long in this video. I'll try to make it somewhat short. So I don't bore you guys half to death with, you know, I think last week was an hour long. Maybe like hour long ones. Sometimes I do if I'm listening to somebody ramble on about something that I agree with, excuse me. But I'll try to make this one shorter just because I really don't even want to talk about this fucking show right now. But anyway, we're going to get into it. Raw starts off with the Shield and their goodbye, and I use that in quotations, speech. It was pretty nauseating. Of course, last night, they said, last time ever, Shield, blah, blah, blah. And of course, tonight, we just had to start it off with the Shield. You just couldn't end it last night with how they ended it. You just had to fucking dig it even deeper. So they sit there, and they're talking, blah, blah, blah. Eventually, Roman and Dean leave the ring. Seth remains in the ring, and he's talking about how he's going to turn his attention out of Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania and how he's going to slay the Beast, yada yada yada. He's got a new t-shirt with Slay the Beast on it, so it'd be kind of silly when you think about it if he doesn't win the match, because now you just sold all these shirts, and who the fuck's going to wear a Slay the Beast shirt if Seth Rollins doesn't win? Like, if he doesn't win, that shirt just instantly becomes like unwearable. So I found that kind of interesting. Paul Heyman winds up coming out, interrupting Rollins. Excuse me, and he basically says that, you know, Seth can't win, you can't beat my beast, you can't beat my client, blah blah blah. Same story, different character, man. The only part that was somewhat amusing was when Heyman basically said there's no booing when Paul Heyman has the mic. That's the only part that I even found relatively entertaining in this whole entire thing. So Seth winds up getting attacked randomly by Shelton fucking Benjamin. I don't know what sense this made. I don't know why this happened. Paul Heyman apparently had Shelton Benjamin do this or whatever. I don't know why. It doesn't really make any sense. Anyway, this turns into a Seth Rollins versus Shelton Benjamin match. Heyman's on commentary during most of this match. And it just makes me remember just how much I actually enjoyed him in that commentary role way back in the day when he was doing it with JR from like WrestleMania 17-ish, a little bit before that, all the way until the end of the Alliance storyline. And honestly, Paul Heyman's not bad, you know, on commentary. He's much better than fucking Michael Cole and Renee Young. I mean, Renee Young, especially in this this little moment where Paul Heyman was on the commentary, was just so out of place. And I'm going to continue to remind you people every single week that she is absolutely terrible at this role. And Cole is too. I'm tired of Michael Cole. His time has come and gone. Just like I wouldn't want JR back in commentary either, because he can't do it like he used to anymore either. And the commentary on Monday Night Raw is absolutely, at times it's unbearable to listen to. Aside from Corey Graves, it's just, it's sickening. You got Renee going, ooh, ah, oh my, oh, constantly doing this shit the whole fucking night, every single night, and it's just god awful. Anyone can do what she does on commentary. She adds absolutely fucking nothing to the commentary, and I'm gonna, like I said, I'm gonna tell you every single week until she either magically gets better or until she's fucking gone. Put her back as a backstage freaking interviewer with Charlie Caruso and Dasha Fuentes and the rest of the fucking clowns back there, because she's awful on commentary. I don't give a damn about this. The first woman, she ain't the right woman. Alright, I'd rather have Beth Phoenix if we're gonna have a woman on commentary. Sorry to say. Anyway, this was a pretty solid match, but we all knew what the end result was, and that was Seth Rollins winning, and that's exactly what he did with a curb stomp. Moving on, we get Bobby Lashley, or Bobby Trashley, or whatever you want to call him, versus Finn Balor for the Intercontinental Championship. I don't know why this match is happening. I mean, I kind of get it, because technically Finn Balor didn't pin Bobby Lashley, but at the same time, he did lose the title, and as far as I remember, there's no automatic rematch clauses, so I don't understand this. Anyway, did anyone care about this match? I doubt it. I didn't. You probably didn't. This just doesn't feel like WrestleMania season, man. I mean, just nothing is exciting. I mean, who's excited for Bobby Lashley or Finn Balor? Like, nobody. This is not WrestleMania season, man. This is not the WrestleMania seasons that I remember. You know, when you got freaking the build for WrestleMania 17 with Austin and The Rock, or Undertaker and Triple H, you know, or Kurt Angle and Chris Benoit. I mean, come on, dude. What are we watching here? Fucking Bobby Lashley and Finn Balor. Give me a fucking break. Anyway, so Lio Rush winds up coming in here, and he starts ringing the bell as Finn Balor's going up to the top for the coup de grace. And instead of just hitting the coup de grace, which he could have easily, because Lashley was pretty much out of it, like a typical dumbass babyface, he just gets distracted, starts tangling it up with Lio Rush on the apron, goes to the top rope, goes to hit, and you can see this coming from a mile away, because I'm pretty sure Finn Balor did like a springboard from the apron into the ring, and which he like never does. So as soon as I seen him doing this, I knew he was losing the title. I was like, he's gonna get speared in midair, and that's exactly what happened. He got caught midair, got speared, and Bobby Lashley once again is the Intercontinental fucking champion. And Finn Balor is an absolute loser. Wins the title, keeps it for like 2 or 3 weeks, and then instantly drops it again. This guy is a bum. And it sucks for me to say that, because I actually liked Finn Balor. Well, I did when he was in NXT, ever since he came up to the main roster with his whole, you know, fucking the Fruit Loop colors and shit, and all this other fucking SJW bullshit that I don't want to see in wrestling, because you see enough of it everywhere else. Ever since he came to the main roster and did all this shit, he just hasn't been the same guy. Hardly comes out as a demon. He's always smiling. I don't understand why he's always smiling. Like, every fucking time you see this guy, he's fucking smiling, and I don't understand why. He barely freaking wins important matches. He never wins titles, and when he does, he either has to forfeit them or drop them instantly to Bobby Lashley. So what are you smiling about, bro? What have you done since you came up to the main roster? You've done absolutely nothing. And it continues here with another loss to Bobby Lashley. We get a backstage segment here, interview with Baron Corbin. This guy's a tool. Everything he said just made me roll my eyes, and nobody cares about Baron Corbin, nor did I care what he had to say about his match that he was supposed to have with Roman Reigns tonight. Moving on. What do we got next here? Sorry, I lost myself in the notes here. So we actually get something I'm a little bit interested in here. We get Ronda Rousey, and I'm loving this new attitude. I mean, I don't know if I agree so much with the whole thing she's been doing on her YouTube page, where she's pretty much calling wrestling kind of fake and saying it's not real or whatever. I'm not really behind that whole thing. I don't know how many times we really need to be reminded that wrestling's not 100% real or that it's scripted or whatever. We don't need to break kayfabe this often in this short amount of time. Like it's a little ridiculous, but I do like this new Ronda Rousey and this new light that she's being shined in. I think it's fantastic for her character. She should have been like this from the start. Not coming out like Finn Balor, smiling all over the place. She did say in her promo that she'd be embarrassed if she had a handicap match with Becky and Charlotte and broke a sweat during it, saying pretty much that she would wreck them both with no problems. But yet she struggled against Alexa Bliss. She struggled against Nia Jax. She took a lot of offense from Alicia fucking Fox, but then she squashed Ruby Riott. But then Ruby Riott came back the next night and got some offense in. So what she's saying here just doesn't really make any sense. It's kind of illogical because Charlotte and Becky are head and shoulders above somebody like an Alexa Bliss, who Ronda Rousey struggled to beat. So I don't really understand that. But like I said, this new attitude that she's in, this is something that Roman Reigns should have done like a long time ago. Like, the fans are booing you, just come out, say, you know what, you want to boo me? Go fuck yourself. And that's basically what she said today. She said something about she hasn't forgotten the people that vote or chanted for that she deserved it when she got beat with the kendo stick in Survivor Series from Charlotte, and basically saying, she doesn't, to hold our applause and calling us basic bitches or whatever the hell she called us. Basically just saying, fuck you, don't cheer me, go fuck yourself. I didn't forget what you said. I'm here to fucking ruin your whole time. So I'm loving it. I think it's the way she should have been booked ever since the fucking beginning of her debut. Instead of her always coming out and she was always smiling and stuff, she needs to be that serious, just like badass Ronda Rousey, and we're finally getting it now. So I guess I'll try to enjoy what I can, because there ain't much to enjoy in this show. So I will try my best to enjoy it. What we get next, I don't understand how we're 4 weeks away from WrestleMania, and we're trying to build towards the biggest show of the year, and we get a Dana Brooke appearance here. She comes out. I don't know why, but I'm pretty sure someone in the crowd, I definitely heard them yell multiple times, "Who are you?" And my thoughts were exactly, because why are we getting Dana Brooke on the road to WrestleMania? I don't understand it. She says that she deserves a chance and she has nothing to lose and she knows she's not on TV, but here she is, and her name is Dana Brooke, blah blah blah. She then just gets absolutely thrashed by Ronda Rousey. She winds up kicking her in the stomach and then just beating the shit out of her. Gets her back in the ring. She picks her up for the Piper's Pit, or whatever she calls that, like spinning Samoan drop thing, and nearly breaks Dana Brooke's neck. At least that's what it looked like on my screen. I mean, it looked like she came down like on the shoulder and side of her neck. It did not look very good, but I guess she's all right. But it looked very sloppy and it looked very dangerous. And even though I don't like Dana Brooke, I kind of felt bad for her and the fact that she comes out once in a blue and almost gets seriously injured. Anyway, Ronda was about to lock in the armbar. She gets separated by a bunch of fucking goon-ass fucking referees. She then yells out, "You know what, pay $60 and then I'll show you what a real armbar looks like." I guess referring to Becky Lynch and how her armbar is fake. Don't understand that. I'm pretty sure it was Ronda Rousey was like hollering and screaming like a little girl when she had the armbar locked on her, or to disarm her that couple, what was it, like 6 days or whatever before Survivor Series. It is what it is, man. I don't forget things. Apparently WWE does. She then slaps one of the referees right in the face, and then she just leaves. And this Ronda Rousey is something that's interesting. Better than what the Ronda Rousey we were getting before, and it's better than half the shit on this show. Next up, we get Ricochet and Aleister Black versus Bobby Roode and Chad Gable. And look, I love Aleister Black and I love Ricochet. Really, I do. I think they're great, but I don't want to see them on both shows every single week. I think it's a bit too much, and overexposure is a real thing. And yeah, I know somebody might say, well, what about back in the day when everybody was on Raw and SmackDown every week? That was different. That's back when they actually knew how to book their current crop of stars. You know, every time they booked them, they made them feel important. They made segments feel fresh. I don't trust creative to book these guys well enough to have them constantly on both shows and keep them from getting stale, because I just know that they're going to make them feel stale, and I don't want to see that. But, you know, like I said, I think they're great, but, you know, choose one show for them and keep it at that, unless you're going to merge the tag team divisions together, which I think is absolutely necessary, but I don't think that's going to happen. It is what it is. We get a good quick match here. It wasn't that long of a match, but it was pretty decent for what it was. Black and Ricochet do wind up getting the win here with a black mass. After the match, they're making their way up the ramp. They get ambushed by the Revival, and it looks like we're probably going to get a multi-man Raw Tag Team title match at WrestleMania, because, you know, you got to get everybody on that WrestleMania card. It's like everybody definitely deserves to be on WrestleMania's card. Like, that's not how it works, man. If you weren't on Raw, or you weren't relevant most of the year, then you don't deserve a spot on WrestleMania's card. I'm fucking sorry. This is why WrestleMania is fucking terrible this year, because they have to put everybody in the show. The show is fucking 7 or 8 hours long. I'm really not looking forward to sitting in MetLife Stadium for 7 or 8 hours, but I am looking forward to the tailgating and stuff with my friends, so that's why I'm going. And as you see, as we get in later to the show, I'm kind of happy that I'll get to see something that we'll get into. And there's one thing that I'll be able to witness, since I'll be there in person, but we'll get there when I get there. But yeah, so that ends. We then get a moment for a piss break, or whatever it's called, with Alexa Bliss. She says everyone is buzzing about her scoop, and no, the only scoop anyone cares about the only scoop that anybody cares about, as far as you're concerned, is the 2 enhanced scoops on your chest, honey. I'm sorry, but nobody really cares about Alexa Bliss. They just think she's hot, and that's it, which she is. I'm not going to sit here and lie. And she's better on the mic than she is in the ring, and I guess that's what WWE's going for now, since she hasn't really been in the ring since Elimination Chamber. She announces herself as the host of WrestleMania, and I don't know why we need a host again. We never needed one. The Rock didn't do anything special with it. The New Day didn't do anything special with it. It's not necessary. And I guess this is basically WWE realizing that Alexa Bliss is worthless in the ring, and that she's better suited for a non-wrestling role. Unfortunately, it did take them 5 fucking title reigns of Alexa Bliss to realize that she's just not really all that in the ring. I think she's a great character. I really do. I think her character's great. You know, her entrance music fits her well. She's got the entrance, she's got the look, but she just doesn't have the in-ring. And I'm sorry, like, I just can't really get behind her as far as the in-ring. And another one who you could just tell she's a favorite, because the whole time she was injured, she was still on TV, but yet when other people get injured, they're not on fucking TV anymore. You know, Kevin Owens had his own show, the Kevin Owens Show. When he was injured, I didn't see him on fucking SmackDown every week. You know, I bet you if Sasha or Bayley got injured, you wouldn't see them on Raw every week. So, that's the kind of shit that pisses people off, man. But, I don't understand why we're getting this whole guest host thing. So we got a guest host, we got guest correspondents. What else do we fucking need? You know, what is the point of this shit? This is garbage. We don't need hosts, we don't need correspondents, we don't need these goons from Saturday Night Live, we don't need Alexa Bliss hosting the show, we don't need any of this shit. We didn't need it back in the day for the WrestleMania to be good, we don't need it now. So, but I know it's gonna happen, so we're just gonna have to fucking deal with it. We get some more cringe as we move on. We get a recap from last week with the Saturday Night Live dorks. Strowman is then interviewed backstage, and then some fucking dumb-looking dude comes up and he says, "Your car's here," to Braun Strowman. Strowman asks, "What car?" And then we go to a commercial. We come back, and apparently the guy from fucking Saturday Night Live, the fucking dude that he choked, his name's Colin something or something Colin. Apparently him and the rest of the cast of the Saturday Night Live brought Strowman a Camaro, which just looked, I mean, I don't really have anything against Camaros, but this car just did not look right at all, and I just already knew what was coming. I thought he was going to flip it over like he always does, but instead he started ripping it apart piece by piece. First he ripped off the door, then he kicked out the driver's seat, then he like punched the windshield and cracked it. He ripped off the hood, kicked off the bumper. He took one of the fenders and gave it to the one guy and said, "Here, give this to your friend Colin and tell him I'll see him at Wrestlemania, or I'll see him in New York." And yeah, here I am thinking that Wrestlemania was in my home state of New Jersey, but apparently MetLife Stadium has been recently moved to New York without anybody's knowledge. So thank you, Braun Strowman, for letting us know we'll be in New York and not New Jersey on April 7th. Anyway, moving on. This shit is just, I'm just trying to get through this, man, because this show sucks. And I just talking about it just aggravates me and nauseates me. So we get Elias next. He's in his home state, or his hometown here in Pittsburgh. He gets a nice little reaction when he's introduced. Then he just starts ripping into the crowd like always. They pretty much are still cheering. He starts talking about Antonio Brown. They start booing a little bit. We get an interruption from No Way Jose, and he just comes out looking like a neon green version of King Ezekiel from fucking The Walking Dead. Where the fuck does this guy even come from? And why is he on my TV 4 weeks away from WrestleMania? This is how we're building WrestleMania, by having No Way Jose and fucking Dana Brooke. I am shocked we did not see an appearance from Jinder Mahal today. I am absolutely shocked. Anyway, where did we leave off? So he comes down, he's about to do the conga line around the ring. Elias jumps out, starts beating the shit out of him, gives him a drift away on the ramp, and yeah, so we get No Way and Jose and Dana Brooke on the same show in the road to WrestleMania. Just literally 4 weeks removed remaining until WrestleMania. It's not like it's 8 weeks away. It's literally, we're in crunch time now. There's no other pay-per-views or anything between now and WrestleMania. WrestleMania is the next big show, and we got Dana Brooke and No Way Jose in basically like back-to-back segments almost. Man, what a great road to Mania we're getting. Anyway, next we finally get something that made me happy. We get the announcement that Harlem Heat is going into the Hall of Fame. Much deserved. Definitely one of the greatest tag teams of all time. It's really a shame when I think about it. I was thinking about this as they were showing clips of Harlem Heat, which was a little bit short compared to like what they've been doing usually for like little video packages of people going in the Hall of Fame. I felt like the Harlem Heat one was like 90 seconds long, if that, when they're usually like 3 or 4 minutes. Whatever, man. It is what it is. But while I was watching this, I was kind of saddened that we never actually got to see like a match between Harlem Heat and like say the Dudley Boys or something, man. I think that would have been absolutely fantastic. But we never got it, and it's kind of sad that we didn't. But they just never crossed paths. They were never on the same, I don't even think they were ever even in the same company at the same time, so it is what it is, man. Next, right after this, we get our daily dose of Lacey Evans cringe. She comes out, she does her fucking thing like always, and I don't know who cares about this by now. I'm going to assume nobody. She gets no reaction. She's there, she's like taunting, I guess, towards the announce table. Then Nia Jax and Tamina pretty much come out before she leaves. They have a little stare down. Whatever, the show is just in a continuous downfall from here. It's just gone down. It started off awful and it just keeps going down. I mean, it has like little moments where it tries to pick back up and then it just starts crashing right back down. You know, kind of like the Call of Duty series. You know, you were really high with Modern Warfare 2, and then, you know, it just kept going down from there. Then you have like a little pip in it, you think you got something good, and then you just get fucking Black Ops 4 and it goes right back down to the ground. Anyway, we get, let's see here. What do we got next? I'm sorry, I lost where the fuck I was. I'm pretty much skimming through shit I've already said here that I put in my notes. So yeah, we're 2 hours in, and we've had literally one decent segment with Ronda Rousey. That was it. Or what are we, an hour and a half, 2 hours in? I don't even fucking remember. This show just drags on and drags on. So Natalya comes out, says she doesn't like what Tamina and Beth did, or Tamina and Nia did last night to her and Beth, and then Beth Phoenix comes out. This crowd, by the way, was kind of garbage. First, you had whatchamacallit, you have Beth Phoenix come out. She doesn't really get much of a reaction, and then you get there was another moment where I was like, damn man, this crowd is fucking dead. Like, what is wrong with this crowd? Did they not know how to cheer for at least something good that was happening? But then when Batista came out, like, they were like fucking pretty much dead silent for that too. But we'll get to that. We'll get to that when we get there. So she comes out. I think it was supposed to be Natty versus Tamina or whatever, and this pretty much just didn't take place. Beth Phoenix pretty much quickly got involved here, taking out both Nia Jax and Tamina. And I don't know if I'm alone on this, but I'm glad to see Beth Phoenix back. I've always been a fan of Beth Phoenix, and I'm already more into her than I am pretty much any other woman on the entire Raw roster, outside of like the whole Ronda Rousey thing. But yeah, this was a decent moment, I guess. You know, Beth Phoenix kind of back. You could just tell that her and Natty are going to be one of the teams competing at WrestleMania for the Tag Team Championship. She looks great and looks like she hasn't missed a beat. So we'll see what happens. So Nia Jax and Tamina wind up retreating back to like gorilla position, like right behind the curtain, and that's where they're met by the tag team champions of Sasha Banks and Bayley, who were a brawl ensues between the four women, and they start having this huge fight backstage. So you can just tell this is definitely going to be another multi-person tag team title match at WrestleMania, because like I said, we have to get everybody on the card somehow, some way. They'll find a way to get Dana fucking Brooke on the card, believe me, whether it's in this and she finds some kind of random tag team partner, or they throw in that women's battle royal. You know we're gonna get it. I would love to see no battle royals this year. It does nothing for anybody. Nobody wants to see it. It's a waste of fucking time. Anyway, let's see here. And you know, they also can't book just two teams by themselves to go, 2-on-2 and make it exciting, because they don't know how to book tag teams. Anyway, cameras are outside. They catch Batista arriving to the arena. We finally get something else that I'm, interested in and see what happens. We come back from a commercial. We get a quick Mania highlight package with some god-awful music. And I'm sorry, but this like poppy rap music or this poppy hip-hop or whatever the fuck you want to call it, it's just out of place. It doesn't fit at all for wrestling. It never has and never will. If you want to see wrestling or music that fits with wrestling, go watch NXT, and all the themes that they have for their takeover events always fit wrestling. It's always like a hard rock and, rap and all this shit. It just doesn't fit, man. I'm sorry. And I'm fucking tired of seeing it in every single pay-per-view. It's just god-awful. What do we got? So we got Triple H coming out, and he quickly just gets in the ring, pretty much waiting for Batista to come out. Batista eventually does come out, and as he's coming out, he gets flanked by these security guards, and I'm thinking in my head like, oh man, look, here we got some well-dressed indie wrestlers. And of course, Triple H is going to have to one-up me on that statement, and we'll go over that momentarily. Triple H asked if Batista is just going to stay up on the ramp because he wasn't saying anything. So he asked him if he's going to stay up on the ramp like a nose ring model. And I did laugh because Batista did have this weird nose ring thing in his nose that I noticed, and he had these really blue sunglasses, looking like a real asshole, but I fucking love it. I think Batista's great. I think he's a very entertaining guy. He asked Hunter to give him what he wants, and he pretty much repeats this line about 17 times in this promo. He just literally keeps yelling, "Give me what I want," while he's spitting all over the microphone and all over his chin and all this shit. And it's great, he's showing some intensity, but it was kind of a weird promo because he just kept literally saying the same shit over and over again. So he asked, Triple H to give him what he wants. Triple H says no, and Batista, or he's not giving Batista what he wants, and Batista says, well, then I'm gonna keep beating up the people you love until you give me what I want. And then Triple H just goes, look, man, he's like, I'll come down there and I'll fight my way through this little group of security you got out here, and he calls them the, oh man, he says, Guardians of the Independence Scene. That's basically what he called Batista's security, and I literally was laughing for like a good 2 straight minutes. Guardians of the Independence Scene. I was fucking dying. I was like, if you don't find that funny, especially the way he said it, man, then you don't have a soul, because that shit was funny as hell. I don't know how the guys that were playing the security guards didn't laugh. I probably would have I wouldn't have been able to hold it in because I thought it was funny as hell. So he pretty much says that Batista keeps screaming that he wants a match at Mania so he can end his career on his own terms. And he says that he's also going to end Triple H's career on his terms as well. Triple H finally does agree to the match, but he says it's not going to be any match. It's going to basically be a no-holds-barred match, so we'll see what happens at WrestleMania between these guys. But so far, this is the best segment of the night, and that's honestly sad, to realize that two 50-year-olds again are being the only interesting thing on the way to WrestleMania because Creative and Vince can't make us feel intrigued by their current stars. Like, there's no real intrigue between, or with most of the roster, aside from a few selected guys right now. There's nothing really going on. I mean, what, 8 people maybe are interesting right now, and that's pushing it. Out of how many matches do we have at WrestleMania? Like 12 or 13 right now, and maybe 3 of them are interesting. 4 if you really want to push it. So that means 1/3 of the show is kind of interesting. And this is a show that's probably going to be 7 or 8 hours long, so probably like 5 or 6 hours is going to be boring as all fuck. It is what it is, man. I can complain about it all day. They ain't going to change anything, but I am going to complain about it because it's fucking sickening how awful that WrestleMania just feels every year. It's just like it gets worse and worse. Anyway, we go from 2 50-year-olds or 2 near 50-year-olds to another 50-year-old in Kurt Angle. I don't know what it is. And this might be nitpicking. One, I've said it before, the whole pointing to the crowd when they say you suck it's a little cringe. I wish he wouldn't do that. I wish he would just he can be happy about it, and it's kind of a term of endearment now, but there's no reason to point to the crowd. Just come out, just enjoy the moment. Don't make it any more cringe than it has to be. And also, man, I wish they would just bring Pyro back, because Kurt Angle's entrance isn't the same without him stopping halfway down and where he does his little hands up in the air pose and the fireworks go off. It's literally not. It's not the same without it, man. And I wish they would just bring it back. I know we're gonna get Pyro for WrestleMania, but I don't know why we can't get Pyro every week. How much does it really cost? Would it really break their bank to bring Pyro every week for a few guys and for the show opening? Because I don't think so. They did it for all those years, and they're still in business, so I don't want to hear it. Anyway, we get Kurt Angle coming out. He announces that WrestleMania will be his last match. He pretty much thanks everyone for the memories, and you can see him getting a little emotional. And just because it is Kurt Angle, and Kurt Angle is one of my all-time favorites, he's probably in my top 5. He's just given me a lot of good memories, and I just thoroughly enjoyed Kurt Angle, especially growing up. And so it was a little emotional. I just hope that he finds a little bit of his inner old self at WrestleMania and gives us a decent match, because I don't want to see him go out on a shitty match. I want to kind of see him go out and at least a decent match. We still don't know who that person's going to be. I hope it's somebody good. I guess we'll just have to wait and see. A lot of rumors are saying it's going to be John Cena or something like that, since John Cena's first match was Kurt Angle, so now Kurt Angle's last match will be John Cena. We'll see. I'm not really interested in that, but I can't think really right now of anybody I want it to be. If I think of anybody, I'll let you know. Somebody was rumoring The Undertaker. Right now, The Undertaker has not been seen or heard of, and I don't know if he's going to be at WrestleMania. It's not looking too good. But yeah, so Kurt Angle comes out and he says he wants to have one more match in his hometown tonight at Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. The crowd pops. Out comes Apollo Crews, and at first I'm like, what the fuck? And then I was like, oh yeah, I guess it kind of makes sense, because he was defending Kurt Angle just a few weeks ago. And yeah, I guess he just wants to give Kurt Angle one of his good last matches. And you can see it in this match. Like, Apollo Crews was trying to make Kurt Angle look good on everything he did, especially the German suplexes. My God, did Apollo Crews try to sell those German suplexes like a fucking beast. And he did a pretty good job. And it was an okay match. It wasn't great. Like I said, Kurt just doesn't do very good in the ring like he used to. But overall, Apollo Crews did his best, and I can appreciate that. And like I said, we'll see what happens at WrestleMania. I just hope Kurt doesn't. I'm glad he's hanging it up, because I don't want him to turn into like a parody of himself, man, where he comes out and he's just basically ruining his fucking career by coming out old as hell and not being able to wrestle. I hate when these guys do this. I understand that it's probably hard to hang it up because it's all you know, and you've been doing it for so long, and you don't want to accept that Father Time is caught up to you. But when your time is up, man, just step away, man. You know, let your legacy speak for you, because I want to remember Kurt Angle for what he used to be, not for what he is at this particular moment. So I'm glad he's hanging it up, and I'm glad I'll be there in person to see it, because like I said, he's one of my favorites, and the fact that I'll be able to see his last match, it's kind of nice in person. It's kind of a nice moment, because Kurt Angle has given me many fond memories, especially with him and Stone Cold Steve Austin back in the day. Great stuff. Reigns comes out. I guess it's time for the main event, him versus Corbin. He's in the ring. He gets ambushed by Drew McIntyre. McIntyre hits a Claymore kick on the outside. Then he puts Reigns' head like against the ring post on the outside. And he Claymore kicks his head into the ring post. Looked pretty cool. Pretty sick. Reigns is out after that. The doctors are checking on him. They're coming out. By this time, McIntyre's gone. Rollins comes out to check on him as well. They go to the back. They meet up with Dean. Seth and Dean take Reigns to the trainer. They say, hey, look, man, just haven't looked at it. You just got back. Don't take any chances. Seth Rollins follows Roman Reigns into the trainer's room. Dean Ambrose catches a glimpse of Triple H in the hallway. He approaches Triple H and starts screaming about how he's demanding a Falls Count Anywhere match with Drew McIntyre. Triple H agrees and says, I'll go let Drew know, but at the same time, man, I don't know what sense this makes, because I could have sworn that just not too long ago we had Dean Ambrose saying how he's weaker with, and that he hated the Shield and he burned his Shield stuff and everything. So I don't really understand this whole storyline. It's like they're trying to make you forget everything, like they're trying to do the Men in Black fucking red pen thing, where they just make you forget everything that's happened over the last few months since Dean Ambrose turned heel. And it just doesn't make any sense. I don't understand why he said he hates the Shield and that the Shield makes him weak, but yet here he is. At the first moment the first chance he gets, he joins right back with him. I don't understand this shit, man. Anyway, so we get the match. It starts. The match is all over the arena. It winds up going all the way back to the concession stands in the back. Most of the match took place in like the crowd arena or the crowd area, like fighting in the crowd. It was an okay match. Nothing great. Nothing out of the ordinary, lazy Falls Count Anywhere type matches with this shit. But the end of the match was great. So, Drew McIntyre puts Dean Ambrose's head in like one of the guardrails that's at ringside, which it looked out of place, but at the same time it made for a good spot. So I guess there's like, if you go to the side of the stage, I guess there's stairs that lead up to the stage, so you can come on the stage from the side, and there's like a guardrail there that you can hold on so you don't fall. So he puts Dean Ambrose's head in that, and then he proceeds to Claymore kick him, knocking the banister out of its placeholder. So Dean Ambrose and the banister fall down to the ground. It looked pretty good, I'm not going to lie. It was a good spot, and Drew McIntyre gets the pinfall on Dean Ambrose on the outside. And it's nice to see a Falls Count Anywhere actually have the fall count somewhere that's not the ring. A lot of the times I see WWE have a Falls Count Anywhere match, and for some reason the match ends in the ring. Anyway, so yeah, McIntyre wins here, so he's looking like a boss tonight. Ambrose crawls back onto the stage. He's asking McIntyre for more. McIntyre hits him with one more Claymore kick, and that was pretty much it. And also, before McIntyre hit Ambrose with the Claymore kick, he did stab him with a pencil in the eye, even though it wasn't... I mean, obviously he didn't really stab him in the fucking eye, otherwise the guy would be blind, but they tried to make it look good. They did a little slow motion thing. It looked alright. And then he rammed his head into the LED boards a couple times before he hit the Claymore kicks. And yeah, McIntyre wins, and that's pretty much how we went off the air. So I don't know if this is finally the rise of Drew McIntyre, or is he just going to be fed and buried by Roman Reigns at WrestleMania? If I had to choose one of the two, it's probably going to be the latter. I don't see Drew McIntyre doing anything at WrestleMania other than going against Roman Reigns. And if that's the case, then I don't see Drew McIntyre winning. I really just don't. I just see... I see it being a decent match. I'm sure it'll be a hard-hitting match, but I see it ending with a Superman punch and a spear, and McIntyre getting beaten, losing every bit of momentum that he might have built up over the last few months. I mean, he didn't really help himself or help his case by aligning himself with Lashley and Corbin, two of the most boring guys on the roster, but it is what it is, man. WrestleMania not looking too exciting. We're getting closer and closer, and my excitement is not building up anymore. Like I said, I'm looking forward more to tailgating in the parking lot with my friends than I am the actual show. And hopefully I'll be doing some a few live streams from the parking lot if anything crazy happens. Because last time we were there, we did get approached by some WWE personnel with cameras. They recorded us for the pre-show. Unfortunately, we didn't get on the pre-show, but I do have the video for proof that we were approached for the pre-show. Unfortunately, we just did not get on, and it's kind of a shame, but we'll see what happens this year. You know, maybe we'll try and make a scene and get noticed again, so we can try and have something like that happen again, but I'm not going to bank on that. That might have been a once-in-a-lifetime thing, because there was a lot of people in the parking lot that year. We just happened to be the ones that stuck out the most because we were making noise and being rowdy, being stupid. But yeah, man, that's your Raw review, man. If you didn't watch Raw, you didn't miss anything. You know, you're welcome for letting you know what happened in a short time without you having to watch this atrocious show. And thank you for listening to me ramble on for going on now 42 minutes of this god-awful show. Because, you know, if nobody watched, I would not have a reason to do this. And even though I don't get many views, maybe I'll get 10 views on this video, I'm sure. It ain't going to be much more than that. If it is, then that'd be great. But even then, even those 10 people, even though nobody comments, which, god damn it, if you watch the video, leave a comment. I don't even care if you say something nasty, you call me a fucking asshole, or you call me a negative fucking douchebag. I don't care. Just say something, man. I don't really care, but yeah, it's because of the few views that I get that I continue to do this, and I do enjoy doing it. I don't enjoy Monday Night Raw, but I do enjoy venting my frustrations about it with you guys, and I'm sure a lot of you agree with me, including the people who don't watch this. I'm sure there's plenty of people who understand where I'm coming from, but like I said, guys, that's the end of the review. There's nothing else more for me to say. We'll see what happens tomorrow on SmackDown, but I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to go to Wawa. I'm going to grab some iced teas, and I'm going to come back, and I don't know. Either play some Call of Duty Modern Warfare Remastered or play some Dead by Daylight. Maybe I'll stream it if you're into streaming. You can check it out on my Twitch channel, DannyBoy908. But until tomorrow, SmackDown, guys, you take care, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. Take it easy.